What's up, people? Welcome back to Airsoft Special Ops with your boy Yardman Leng. I know my gloves be looking real gutter out here, but it gets like that. I just thought, let me use them up. Like you can see, they're mash up. But I thought, let me use it up until they're literally like unusable, basically. Today we have a review video for you guys, the Raven EU series, the EU18, which for those of you who do follow my channel, you will know that I'm a big EU pistol fan, and one of my key elements of doing these videos was kind of just to give pistol users insight into maybe what they're looking for and price ranges and what you get for your money, basically. I've also included the speed loader, the upgrade speed loader from the last video, because I'll be using this bad boy today to test one flew out, to test the mag today. So yeah, here we go. So straight off the top, I will say, like, I know in my video for the VORSK EU18 pistol, like I was saying, their box is really slick. I do have to give it to Raven, because I don't know, like for me, I had a very low expectation of what to expect from them, but so far so good. Like it's quite like nice. It's very similar to the VORSK box, where you've got like this outer rib and then you've got your main box. Similar thing. I think it's just a pull-off top. Yeah, pull-off top. I've got one random BB which came out of the loader earlier. It obviously gives you the breakdown of what color this pistol is, because I've got it in green jungle camo. I did order the pink one, but unfortunately where I bought it from, their website wasn't working or something, so it was listing things that they basically didn't have for sale or didn't have in stock, if that makes sense. So yeah, when the guy called me, I just thought, you know what, let me just go for the same pistol. Also, I did want to add, this is from the Hydro series. I've seen a couple reviews, but never this specific mod in the UK, if that makes sense. So that's interesting. So yeah, standard box. Oh, cool. So you get one of these, like I'm gonna call them tags. I'm not sure what the right name is, so y'all on the YouTube help me out. Obviously, like I said before, you can stick it to something. I'll probably add this to my body, like my body armor, because I've got my VORSK one on there, so I'll probably have this next to it. But it does look quality, very high quality. I have to probably do a comparison to the VORSK one as well, just so that you guys can see the difference, because I don't know, this one kind of feels a slightly bit more premium than the VORSK one, but maybe that's my memory. So I will do a review video for you guys. So yeah, there's that. I'm gonna put that to one side. You get some kind of booklet, the EU series booklet. Do you get it? Giving you their website, giving you a breakdown of the gun's layout, so you can see the front side, the front slide. Yeah. So you need the automatic version as well. So yeah, but that's more for a basic user who doesn't know what they're doing, which is no harm, because we've got to learn and start somewhere. Another breakdown, which is pretty cool, because this is similar to what came with the VORSK pistol as well. Just gives you all the components. The only thing I would say about this, because I did open it a bit earlier and just give it a pre-look, is if you ever needed to trace back the parts on this one, I maybe have to recheck the VORSK one, but I feel like the VORSK one was a bit more explanatory, so the parts had different unit names as opposed to just numbers, similar to how this one has, which ain't a bad thing. Maybe you could just search like the Raven EU series and then that part number, like speed loader 21 for example, or top slide. What is that top slide? I believe it's 14. No, 15. So yeah, that might be worth trying. And as I upgrade these pistols and use them, that's something I'll probably comment on throughout the video, so that should be cool. First sights. To be honest, I don't know if it's me, yeah, but like I said, this pistol for me is very underrated. Like when my VORSK pistol came, so I'll show you guys the VORSK. When the VORSK came, I was just really excited because I've been waiting to get back into airsoft. So even doing things like the customs or more customs, or even just the upgrade to the slide, because I'll show you that quickly. It's like it won't cock all the way. Let me show you this side. It won't cock all the way back. So if you notice, it doesn't actually hit the hold adjust thing, if that makes sense. The lock, if you want to call it that. That's because I've upgraded my barrel, which I'm due to do some kind of shooting video for. But when the VORSK came, because I had no other pistol at the time, it was more the excitement of, okay, I want to open it and just see what we can do and test things. Where I've kind of got over that initial excitement, I feel like this is getting almost like the backlash from what the VORSK got, if that makes sense, because I was bare excited, whereas it's almost like I'm already excited about the VORSK, so this probably will have to do quite a bit to excite me, if that makes sense. But yeah, but initial thoughts, so I'll give you that. Pop that out the way for a second. So what comes in the box? It looks like a mag, and then it looks like the mag's got some kind of little camo thing. We'll go into that soon. It looks like 2 back adjustments for, I'll show you quickly, the back area of the gun. So similar to my VORSK one, I've left one of them on just because I feel like it fits a bit more tight in my palm and works a bit more better for me in terms of moving around. Whereas without it on, it just felt like I was trying to grip the pistol very firm just to get that same grip that I could just get with the attachment on it. So yeah, so just in case you were thinking, what was he talking about? But yeah, it comes with 2 attachments. It looks like some kind of speed loader, well, not speed loader, but your loading system, so similar to the VORSK video, if you guys have seen that one. Yeah, it's giving me like a backup pellet loader, which is pretty cool. And the rubbers, which I probably will use because I would like to make some adjustments to similar to this. Like there's not much movement in the gun anymore. I want to just ensure there's not much movement in this, but what I will do is test it before I make those adjustments, if that makes sense. But yeah, you can see it comes with some rubbers. My lighting's letting me down a little bit, but it comes with some rubbers. And then it comes with a new loader, just in case, I believe, in case I break my one. So we'll put those to one side. Show you guys the back sides. So similar thing, I think it comes with 2, which might be similar to, again, the VORSK video. Probably sounds like I'm a VORSK promo guy, but it's just because for me it's just such a great pistol. It was a good price, and everything I've kind of wanted to do to it, I've been able to do. I think the only thing that was a letdown for me was not being able to long-termly use it, and it isn't loaded, so don't worry guys. Long-term use it inside of my CAA kit. So okay, so there is another, it comes with that as well in there, so you don't want to lose that. I almost just lost mine. It fell on the floor. But yeah, I'm not a VORSK promo guy. I'm literally just promoting it because I feel like it's a good pistol. Like it's my first one and it's holding its own. So, and it's a good take on the EU series, via where I've gone for another EU series just to have something to compare it to. But straight off the top, they look alright. I believe it's similar to that other pistol where it's like one is a more straight back and then one is more of a bent. And knowing me, I probably will go for this more grooved one. They feel decent quality plastic as well. Yeah, like they feel like good. The only thing I would say is that straight one feels a bit like I could break it if I added enough force to the middle, whereas this one feels a bit more firm. So maybe, again, maybe that's down to the build, because I can see a difference in the color. I don't know if you guys can see it. This one's a bit lighter, which seems like a more thinner. I don't know if you can see it, I can actually bend it, like a thinner plastic, whereas this is a bit more harder to bend. It swivels just a little bit, but doesn't go all the way like the other one. But I think anyway I would go for this one. And then you can see it has the bits to put the actual little bolt or whatever you want to call this through. But yeah, so far so good. Like, I'm actually quite excited because I've been waiting for this for maybe about 7 days, a week and a half. So now we have our mag. It has camo on the bottom. Got the Raven logo at the bottom as well. This one reminds me of the WE mag. The only thing I would say is the gas or CO2 release looks slightly different. I'll grab the mag and show you guys. But it looks like almost like a full-blown replica, obviously without the camo. That's just the fit, the gun type thing, right? But I'm gonna show you because it's actually real close. So this is the WE mag that I bought. I believe it's the EU17 mag. And if you look at them, they almost look identical. The only thing I would say straight off top is obviously the camo at the bottom on this one. And then the spring, if I'm to be honest, looks a bit more high-tech on this one. I don't know if the camera's doing it justice, but they look kind of same on the cam. But for me, I feel like this one looks a bit like there's a bit more tension on this one than the other one, but I'm not sure if you guys will be able to see what I'm seeing because my lighting isn't the greatest currently. But let me try and pull in the frame just a little bit, maybe that will help. Hopefully that helps. But straight off the top, I can pull down that with just my fingertip. That one I can't, so that's something to keep in mind. That feels like a more cheaper grip, but this is my WE mag. Whereas this, I'm probably gonna need that little attachment thing I was talking to you guys about. So let me grab that quickly. Then I can show you guys what it actually does. And what I was saying about the two being different in terms of how the gas release looks like. I'm not sure if you can see it, but one's full gold, which is the new one, and then the other one is half gold, half silver. Plus the shaping is slightly different. I don't know if that makes a difference to performance. Obviously you can see some wear and tear on my WE mag car. I've done quite a lot of shooting with that, especially recently, and I shot a bit earlier, so it's a bit greasy. But differences, another thing I would say is there's a groove on my WE mag. There's only one on the left hand side, there's none on the right. If you notice, little groove, and that's what normally holds your mag in. On this new Raven one, there's two, so I've got one on each side. So that's actually probably a key point to make note of as well, the fact that this has two, because that's probably better. It's like my VORSK mag is like that as well. So that's always something to keep in mind with the more expensive pistols. They probably will have that because it just means that your mag is a lot more safer inside your pistol, basically. Let's test this tool and see if we have any luck. So if I use it on the WE one, I'm not sure if it's gonna work because this is the broken one. So yeah, if I use it on the WE mag, you'll see all I have to do is like literally put it around it and I'm able to pull it down, and I would basically be able, let me show you quickly so it makes sense. I'd basically be able to load BBs. Yeah. Every so often, 1 or 2 will fly off, but that's normal.
Sky's the limit, riding with it, gon' get it, into it.
Yeah.
And when you fall, you get right back into it. Cause it ain't over till
Boom. So that's the WE mag. So you could see how kind of long that took. The only thing I would say about this is sometimes getting it off is a missionless process, but I think that's just because this mag's thing is so big. It finally came off. Let's test it now on the Ravens mag and see if we have any luck. And I'm starting to learn there's kind of like a trick to it. It's like you have to kind of get the bit that has this lip on it round the top of it, but it's like you have to ensure it bites it a little bit, or else it will just slide down it like this and do nothing. So you kind of want it to bite that, and if you notice it's bit it now, and I can pull it down. Yeah man, I would say this has a defo better spring because I can feel it as I pull that down compared to my WE mag. Like, that's a decent mag, but I could straight off the top like just feel it. Maybe it's because it's the first time I've ever pulled this mag down, but yeah, that feels, the spring feels a lot more high quality. I will definitely say that. Let's give it a load. Oh, even the way it loads in. Okay, I've lost 2, I've lost 3. Okay, maybe it's me. I'm being too excited. Yeah, I think that was me. So let me chill out a little bit. Okay, it still loads alright. I feel like I'm losing a couple pellets every so often though. But yeah, it loads fine. And it just released perfectly calm. So it looks like, yeah, like compared to if you want to talk about mags and being able to use that adapter, for me it would be the Ravens mag compared to the WE mag. I would have to test the Raven mag compared to the VORSK mag and see, but yeah, straight off the top like that, it caught it very well. It loaded fine. I did lose a couple more pellets, but that might just be me where I might be rushing. But yeah, so I'm gonna put this WE mag aside for a second. Okay, so let's move on to the pistol. Like mag so far, do you know what, I will load the mag with some gas and see how I feel about it. It does come with that like clippy button similar to the WE one at the bottom, so you can take them off, take off that top protection thing. I tend to leave them on because it relieves my anxiety. It at least makes me feel like if I was to drop the mag, God forbid, but if I was to drop the mag and it was to hit the floor, at least there's something surrounding the casing rather than the casing just hitting off the floor, because if that was the case, it likely would just break and be no longer usable. Straight off the top though, that was an easy fill. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, even compared to my VORSK, that probably was an easier fill than my VORSK. Normally I have to take this thing off or slide it back on my VORSK one. That was quite an easy fill. It filled quite quick. The only thing with it filling quick makes me nervous, because does that mean the barrel is not the barrel but the canister that holds the gas, does that mean that that's smaller via why it filled a bit quicker? But yeah, here we go anyway. Pistol outside the box, initial thoughts, it does feel nice in the hand, and I do like this slide, top slide gap thing. It's pretty cool. One thing that did hit me straight off the top was this though. Like, I noticed that it doesn't come with zombie sights. I don't know if that's a licensing issue, but if you notice, it just has the standard sights similar to what I had put on my VORSK pistol. I think I've even still got one of them on there, but I've got the back here. So just so you guys can see, it's like I've got the front the same, But the back, I've got a zombie sight on this one, on the VORSK, which I'm not complaining about, because in theory this is meant to go in the conversion kit, so in theory I couldn't put a zombie sight on it even if I wanted to, or else it wouldn't fit in the conversion kit. But yeah, so far so good. The sight looks really good on cam, I'm not gonna lie to you. Ooh, that feels pretty firm. It feels very similar to my VORSK trigger, I won't lie to you. Yeah, very similar in terms of motion. They look almost similar. Slide. Ooh, that sounds solid. Well, that also sounds solid, but that's more like a lighter. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't know if the camera will pick it up. And that's with the up 50% adjustment, whereas this is just straight out of the box. That sounds really good. That sounds like this internally has more metal parts. I might be wrong, but it sounds that way from the cock. You obviously get this little protective thing on the top. That's why it's shiny. I've got to take that off. So I probably will do that before I do damage to my barrel. Yeah, like sure, I'm quite happy with it, to be honest. Has a safety down the bottom. I will have to test that to see how efficient that is, to be real. Don't be like me, don't use a pen. Please look after your weapon. We spend a lot of money on it. Okay, so that is quite efficient. It does feel a bit more firmer, maybe about 10% firmer than my VORSK one. So I'll give them that. Not by a huge deal, I will say, but because I've spent, yeah guys, don't be like me. I literally just bought my gun, I don't want to damage it. What can I use? And there's me thinking I was 100% prepared for this video now, but it gets like that. We move. Yeah, you need something metal. Probably have to grease that up so it moves a bit more better, but that's quite firm. Do you get it? So you can at least be like comfortable that once that's locked on, it's not gonna fire off by any chance. Obviously it's single and auto. I probably color those over time. One thing I did see was this. The slide I feel like works a bit better than the VORSK. That's one thing I will say. I'm not sure if that's because of the barrel type or the manufacturer or whatever it is, but yeah, like when I was doing this with the VORSK, and I think it's because there must be some plastic parts in here, there must be, because this genuinely sounds like metal on metal, whereas this, it sounds the part but you can just hear it. It doesn't have that same full-blown metal on metal. It sounds like half metal, half plastic is in there. So I'm gonna have to take the VORSK apart and probably do a comparison in terms of build and build quality and stuff. But it holds its own. I'm still keeping it as my side on. What else? Straight out of the box, it doesn't rattle much. Obviously, it's a Glock. It needs some kind of movement. But like I said, I will do some adjustments to the inner barrel with some not rubber bands, but some band type rubber bands, just to give the barrel a more comfortable feel. And I'm actually due to do that to the VORSK as well. So I'll update you with that. What else? Yeah, like so far so good. I wish this was metal. I would say that my mag release, I wish that was metal. Let me see if I can show you guys obviously the barrel, and just in comparison to the VORSK one, there isn't a great deal of difference, but when I was looking down them, you could tell some differences, like the barrel sizing, the size of the inner barrel looks a bit more quality on the Raven and stuff like that. But yeah, so, but one thing I will say is the Raven is defo heavier than the VORSK. and it just feels really top heavy. I'm not gonna lie to you, like it feels more closer to the real thing, whereas I feel like the Glock just has the VORSK has more like a playful feel, whereas this, you will know if you walk around with this 20 minutes in your hand, you're gonna know about it. So I will say that it's very top heavy. You could hit somebody with it and they would feel it more than, like, they would definitely feel it with the VORSK, but I reckon you'd more feel it with the Raven. Oh yeah, so top slide, let's have a look at this top slide just briefly. I'll do a more in-depth video at some other part. This is the bad thing with cutting your nails, it makes stuff like this so hard. I cut my nails like 2 days ago. There we are. Initially off the top, and it's not a bad thing, I can't really see what these metal parts are. Initially out the top, off top, it does look like, oh, do you know, it might be this that's metal, because I'm thinking they kind of look like a duplicate of each other, if I'm to be honest. Yeah, like even the spring is not too far off what the VORSK spring looks like. I don't know if you guys got a chance to see that, but it's very similar to the VORSK spring. And it will, because they're from the same series, and they're EU series just by different manufacturers. But I thought, let me just give it a look just to see if there's any standout differences for me. Yeah, like it looks, unless I will have to sit down and look at it in more detail, but they do look kind of like initially the same, to be real. And then that's obviously my barrel over there. And the interesting thing is, I reckon I could switch them out and they would work. So maybe that's something I'll do over time. For the moment, I'll use it standardly though, but I think over time I will definitely switch the parts out and even just buy custom parts and test custom parts on it. But for the mo, because I did give the gun an initial shoot earlier, and like I said, I did use my boy's Airsoft Madness's version of this pistol, I do know that it has a more consistent shot than the VORSK straight out the box, which is quite good. That's what you're paying the extra money for, a more consistent, reliable shot. Because even earlier when I shot it, I was pleasantly surprised. It's like the pellets were going exactly where I'm aiming, which I found very interesting, because as good as the VORSK was, I literally had to make adjustments to achieve that, and I'm still having a slight issue where they are still flying just a bit, and I reckon that's just due to the way power is distributed through that gun, it not being full-blown metal. But yeah, so far so good, I'm not gonna lie to you. And I have loaded it with some BBs. I do have goggles on, so don't worry about me, guys. I'm just gonna point it at my target up there and see. I'll do another proper testing video. Whoa. Yeah, do you see exactly where I'm pointing is exactly where it's gone. This summer we go up, cause harder when you got a brown thing and she's so fine. I swear that girl be destined. She wanted to get. So for me, just off the top, like I'm not gonna throw it in auto. I'll do another. Well, I say that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's going exactly where I want it, which is very interesting. Even on auto, I would say that the trigger is a lot more, like you're in more control of this gun as opposed to the VORSK. The VORSK can kind of feel like when it's on auto, like it's out of control, whereas this, I would definitely rate it on a high level, and I haven't even used it in a game yet, apart from when I used Airsoft Madness's version. But with the bottom in, and though I've said the top is top heavy, with the clip in, it's a nice balanced pistol. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's a very nice balance. I do think I still want the back element on, but yeah man, so far so good. Let's have a look and see how far that clip goes in. Maybe it's not for that, maybe it's for the side to take the gun all the way down. It's like a backup clip. But yeah, straight off the top, like I don't want to sit here because like I said, I'm not selling any products. I'm more just walking you through my airsoft journey to, let me actually take my clip out. Safety first, people, always. There is one in the chamber, but there is no clip in there, so I should be fine. Plus I've got goggles on. Yeah, I'm not necessarily doing any paid promotions or anything like that. Like, this is literally just me walking you through my airsoft journey and almost just reviewing as I go along what I feel like works for me and what doesn't work for me, just so that maybe I'll save you guys some time and money and experiences that I had to go through. You guys may not have to go through. But yeah, like, so far so good. I think the bigger problem, and I think this is just with this specific model, if you notice, I had the same problem with the EU18, the VORSK one. It's like getting this back attachment on. Like, if I'm doing something wrong, then y'all let me know in it, but this bar doesn't actually come out unless you hammer it out. So my thing would be, how do they expect us to get it on? You kind of get what I'm saying? Unless I'm missing the fact that it's meant to come out or something, I'm very confused.
Attention got you wanting things that's out your reach. Just meditate, don't medicate, ain't trying to preach. Forbidden fruit, she from the tree.
Almost there, guys. Oh, and do you know what it is? It's because I'm using the wrong bloody one. It was this one that I wanted to use. Don't be like me and wrestle with it. Take your time and just do it correct. This takes a finesse. I remember how I put on the other one on the VORSK. It was like a finesse just to get it round at the right angle. Okay, so one side is on. Is that other side on? Okay, I believe so. Because it was the same with my VORSK as well. It's like there was a slight gap, yeah. So I believe that is how you put it on. Give me 1 sec. I just want to make sure it doesn't move. Okay. I feel like that's the firmest it's gonna get. Yeah, man. Yeah, so we've done it. It's obviously not perfect, but I think what I would probably do is melt it down, because similar to my VORSK, it was the same when I did that video. You can see like there's a slight gap, and I think that's just because these EU18 pistols, it's maybe the manufacturers just haven't mastered this attachment. Do you know what I'm trying to say? I've noticed every pistol, even when I bought the WE, this was probably like 4 or 5 years ago, like it was the same thing with that. And I've noticed every manufacturer so far I've had, it's like that. So like it's on, looks the part. I haven't had to remove much from the pistol, unlike VORSK. VORSK came as a custom version. This, the only thing that's really custom is like they've upgraded the barrel or something, I think they said. And then this is the most recent version of the EU18 by Raven. So yeah, like scoring on first day, first half an hour or so out of the box, like I'd probably give it a 9, you know. I kind of want to give it a 9.5 just because of like I was literally standing right here just shooting, and the box is maybe about 2.5 meters away, and it's one of the boxes is up in the air and it was still hitting it, like it's hitting it clean. So I'm just like, for shot accuracy, this is the one. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm quite tempted to potentially, I was gonna buy another VORSK, but depending on what this does, I might buy a VORSK and one of these and then collaborate the gun and then see what the outcome is, because I believe it's the barrel. The barrel on this is really, really good. Yeah, I'm saying the barrel, like the top half basically. So I'm thinking maybe collab that with VORSK's lower half, and then the same thing, put this lower half with the VORSK's top, and maybe you might have something there still. But yeah, man, just so you guys can see, does have some kind of serial number across the side.
Exciting actually, and that's really sweet of you. If you can, I mean, that might be a lot of work for you to try and get done for his birthday, but if you could, that would be fantastic. He would be absolutely buzzing.
And that's just because I've put the attachment on. It shouldn't normally look like that, but for me it's comfort over everything, boy.
It was really nice to see. I looked at a mess yesterday, and literally, I put on like 4.5.
But yeah, like so far so good, 9, which is higher than my VORSK, and my VORSK is still my most favorite pistol. I gave the VORSK a 7.5, and that was after I was able to review it. So yeah, that should say a lot. But yeah, defo a 9. Like I'm quite, like if there's, like my boy was telling me there's 1 or 2 more that's better than this version of it. So if they're better than this, I'm quite interested to see, because the accuracy on this is so good and the power distribution is so good. So I'm just like, how do you get any better than this? But yeah, man, that's me for today, guys. I believe that's everything that came in the box. There's my mag again. It's a beautiful gun. It weighs lovely. Like that's one thing I would say, the weight of it is really, really nice. No knock to VORSK, because like I said, it's still my most favorite pistol, but weight distribution in that, they both feel nice in the hand. Like, I can't knock it, but I just feel this one feels like the real deal, whereas this more feels like a replica of the real deal, if that makes sense. So it depends really what you're going for. I went for both of them because yeah, that's me. But yeah, this would look wavy with an extended mag as well. But yeah, peeps, until we next meet, this is the Raven EU18, the Hydro series in camo. Yeah, and it is the semi and auto version. Yeah. Alright. Till we next meet, my fellow airsofters, have a lovely one. Raven EU18, standard mag, 23 rounds. So accurate. VORSK EU18, standard mag with a WE mag, 23 round.
Just to keep up with the bill, and some of us starving, still can't get a meal. Some of us stuck in a war zone, and to survive we kill. Global society sits, world leaders are ill. Let people starve.
You guys, just so you guys can see what I was shooting at earlier. So these are the results. You can see it actually tore. BBs are sitting in there. I've created basically something that grabs the bullets, so it's like bubble wrap and it's cardboard, paper, and there's just bare things in there that kind of like slow down velocity. Now you guys can see like the size of that. It was so far and it was 2/3 meters away. Still was able to hit some good shots. Do you know what I'm saying? Even one stuck in the corner. And then I got a couple in this box as well.